Okay, and looks like we are alive. What's up, everybody? This is Ryan here, and you're watching another episode of me doing some work on a Kotlin multi-platform mobile project. Today's going to be more focused on just getting the work done and less rambling, although obviously if there are any questions I will probably end up answering those. So really just what I'm doing is improving the look of the user interface for the shared composables. So these are basically composables which are shared between the desktop and Android front ends, and then possibly also the compose JS front ends if I ever get around to doing that. What's up, Hardeep? So that's what I'm working on. I guess I'll just show you really quickly uh, what the desktop version of the app looks like, and then I've also hooked up my Pixel 3a for messing around with the Android front end. Now, I haven't actually deployed to the Android version in a long time, so I don't even really know if it works. Hey, what's up, Orlando? Greetings from Cuba. My father actually worked in Cuba for about 20 years on and off, so that's interesting. He worked in Baradero on an onshore oil rig. Anyways, all right, so this is kind of what the day feature looks like, and there isn't actually really anything I want to change here. But I definitely want to do some work on this feature here. So I think what I want to do is I want to move this drop-down list to the middle of the hour managed quarter hour thingy here. I want to improve how this looks. So for military clock, it can look like that, but I want to change the font around a little bit. And then for AM PM style clock, I want to actually show the AM PM. Probably a little bit of margin for this switch would be good. And I guess that switch, yeah, that switch looks kind of gray because it's deactivated, and it is supposed to be deactivated, so that's intended. But yeah, I just want to improve this slightly. I was also imagining in my head maybe making the background like purple and the text and icons and so forth on this feature white or something like that, but I don't want to get too I don't want to go crazy. So what I'll do is fix so this is going to be for our feature. Fix toolbar font, because the font for the toolbar looks kind of lame, and the margin seems kind of messed up, so I'll fix that. And then fix the fix time display font, move drop down to center, fix switch margin. I think we can do that. My goal for today is I just want to make a whole bunch of small UI improvements. So that's fine. I don't really want to do anything here today in the day feature, except maybe I'll fix the I want to fix that font again for the title. That's one thing I can do. I don't know what to do here. I mean, this looks terrible on the desktop version. It looks fine on the phone version, but I'm not really sure how to approach making this look different. Like, I don't know. One thing that's weird is I think it might just be an optical illusion, but it almost looks like some of these icons are bigger, but I don't think they actually are bigger. But yeah, I don't know what to do here. This is one of those things where I definitely designed this for the mobile version of the application, and I feel like I almost just need to do it entirely different. So yeah. Hardik says you can make this like a dashboard with some stats. Possibly. The thing is, I do need to share this across the these are shared composables, so I need something that can work across both form factors, but that might work. And then, so yeah, I don't think I'm going to touch anything here except maybe the font again. So that is task list feature, fix title font. I'll probably deal with these fonts first, might as well. And then the other thing is we need to fix the color pickers, because they're obviously not supposed to look like this. They're all supposed to be circles. I think I know how I can do this. So I realize that you can't use constraint layout in the desktop version, and therefore I can't use it for the shared composables. But what I can do is I think I can use box with constraints. I kind of rip that out without realizing that that's kind of excuse me, I don't think I think I can actually use box with constraints, and I'm pretty sure I do use it. So I can use box with constraints. Basically what that will do is allow me to sort of get the height of the height and width of the screen, and then I'll just basically make this box with these whatchamacallits here, these circles, colored circles. I'll make them sort of weighted. I'll make them weighted so they'll each take up like a third of the height and width of the whole thing, or something like that. And then that should make these things symmetrical across both the desktop front end and the Android front end. Also, I'm going to this is the task feature. So how does the so we're obviously fix title font. Hopefully all of these things come from the same font, and then I can just fix it in one place. Fix color picker box dimension, fix color picker buttons, and then fix color display. Now this thing here, this actually used to be a button, and now it's just a colored square. So I'm wondering if I could do that a little bit more intelligently. The reason why it's just a colored square is originally it was a button. You would click the button and then it would show the color picker sort of bottom sheet type thing, but there's not a lot going on in this feature, so I feel like in terms of screen real estate, it doesn't even really make sense to show and hide it. So I'll have to think about. So the first thing is just I should have actual name instead of like the enum name, I think is what it's got there. So I might do that. But yeah, fix color display view names, let's call it that. So that's enough to get me started. As I said before, the last thing I'll be working on is I want to think of a way to basically send some kind of model into my composables, which will have information on the size of the screen that the composables are being used on, and then that might be a way that I can more elegantly handle things which are displayed either on the desktop or on the mobile version of the application. So yeah, but we're going to start with just messing around with the compose stuff. So if you're curious about compose, this might be interesting for you. And if not, well, you can just listen to my booming, deep, manly voice. All right. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to start with the fonts first. So I think I use the same toolbar, app toolbar. So this should hopefully be a fairly straightforward fix. Let me just double check. Huh. Apparently home isn't a viable shortcut key in Android Studio. Yeah, I think I always use the same app toolbar. So, the first thing I want to know is why the excess padding in this row. Probably... Does that even need to be a row? I, I almost thought that the title itself was a row scope. Yeah, I think the title is a row scope. Well, I'm just going to start with that. Let's just see what that looks like. It's a good idea not to make too many changes at once. It's a valuable lesson. Okay, so that didn't change it whatsoever. Oh, you know, I think I know what it is. What's happening is it's basically whether or not I have a navigation icon, it's taking up the space for the navigation icon. So that I might have to just stop it from doing that. And off the top of my head, I think the only way I could do that easily is to just run a null check on the icons, at least the navigation icon. And if it's null, just have a different top app bar composable. But that's kind of annoying. I guess what it is, like, I'm pretty sure if I was to remove this thing, it wouldn't do that. And I feel like if it's a null in here, it shouldn't actually take up space. And the reason why it's null is it's a reusable toolbar, so I might use it, or I use it for all the different features, and not every feature has either an action icon or a navigation icon. So anyways, I think what I'll start with is actually fixing this font. So we're going to go to type, and I think that was H6. Font size. Line height. I think we're going to leave the line height as default. And then font weight. Let's just see what this looks like. It looks a little bit better. It's not really the font I'm looking for, though. What do we do here? I think font family. Font family dot. I don't think I want cursive. What is the default? The default is null. Interesting. Okay. Let's go try sans serif really quickly. Sorry, I'll stop drinking right into the microphone. That looks all right. How about we have a monospace font. We'll see what that looks like. It just looks kind of terrible either way. One of the things I do want to do is I want the color to be sort of like an alpha white. I don't think this is gonna look good, but let's just see what cursive looks like. Oh, that looks terrible. Oh, that looks so horrible. It's like worse than Comic Sans. That's terrible. Okay, we're not gonna do cursive. Wow. I suddenly feel sick to my stomach. I don't think Serif is gonna look good, but let's just try it really quickly. Rahul asks, can we call native Windows DLL from Kotlin? Well, what we can do, Kotlin Compose, the desktop sort of port of it is tightly coupled to, or is under the hood has some implementations of the Java Swing toolkit, java.awt. So you can call the Swing toolkit from the desktop version. So that's one thing you can do. Like, for example, the way that I get the screen size is by calling what is a AWT method. So that's what you can do. Okay, and that just looks terrible. All right, and one last thing, I'm just gonna check. Presumably the default. I'm trying to imagine in my head what would look decent. Okay, so that's the default. I think maybe we'll do default and reduce the letter spacing. What is the default letter spacing? Unspecified. Great. I think part of the problem is that letter spacing makes it look silly. So I'm going to make the font larger, and then I think I want like, let's try thin. Nixer came to ask about design patterns. I have a project to do for my university. My teacher is really bad at explaining it. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I dropped out of post-secondary is my teacher sucked. Do you know anything about factory method? You know, off the top of my head, so factory method, let's say you have something you want to create and you want to basically sort of hide its constructor and control how it is created. So you make a method which, or a function, probably you're asking about Java, but you make a function or a method which basically controls instantiation of the object. So off the top of my head, that's what I think about when I hear a factory method. C#, okay, so basically Java if you squint. I'm just kidding, actually. I love Java, but as far as a programming language, I think C# is a little nicer. Okay. I forgot what I was doing. But yeah, if you have a more specific question about what the factory method is, that's generally what it is. It's basically like if you want to have control over how something is created, then you would use the factory method. Or if there's some reason why you don't want the user or the person using that particular object to create it themselves or use the constructor themselves, then you could consider the factory method. So here, actually, here's a great example here. So database driver factory. This is an example of the factory method. So in this case, we gave us this project to do design patterns and never explained it on some examples. Well, you know what the thing is, Nixer? many people teach design patterns with just stupid examples. So, in my opinion, the best way to learn design patterns and the most useful way to learn is to find use cases for them. Like, when do I actually need to use this thing? Because otherwise, it's just like remember some stuff about this concept that you might not even apply in your code. And that's just a horrible way to learn and to teach. And, yeah. My issue is that there's design patterns that I've created isn't the right word, but discovered or used, and I can't even remember what the names of them are, but the names don't matter to me. The code is what matters to me. So that's the issue you get as a self-taught developer. So this is looking more like I want it to. I think I like that, but again, I just don't like this. Where's this letter spacing? Let's try 1. UI coding is so much fun. Okay, I like that. I like it better than it was before, but maybe just what's thin? I don't know what the difference between thin and light is. Do they actually... I'm assuming this is just an enum. Okay. So thin is 100. Let's try... Where did we go here? Let's try... Is there a specific reason why you are not using custom fonts? I don't know. I feel like configuring custom fonts, like I'm assuming you mean something that you have to put in the assets. I kind of tried to look at doing that for a friend in a KMM project, and it was a complete nightmare. I feel like I might be able to implement that now that I have more experience with KMM and I'm more fluent at using source sets, but it was problematic. I'm trying to keep things as sort of vanilla as possible, just to maintain the compatibility. Okay, did I make the change? Or let's just rerun this. That doesn't look any different. Unless I'm confused here. I wonder if Android Studio just didn't load the change. Well, whatever. It looks better. Why does that say tasks? I don't think that should say tasks. Okay, let's go into day view screen. Another thing I'll eventually have to figure out is localizations instead of just hard coding these things in here. Day planner, tasks, manage task. Okay. Now I've got to think about how to have this toolbar not just hog that. I just want to see something. This is one little trick that someone taught me. Can I change the... No, I can't change the background there. let's just do like color dot cyan. This is a little trick someone taught me for UI development. If you want to see like, oops, that's not what I want to do. If you want to see what kind of space a particular widget is taking up, then you can do something like that. So the reason I did that is just to confirm that the extra space here is just because of the icon that may or may not exist. So I feel like there should be a more elegant solution than what I think I'm about to do. But let's I'm annoyed that I have to do this, but what we're going to do is we're going to say if what did I use for that icon back? If icon back equals null, actually I don't even really need that there, then top app bar, else top app bar, and then for this one we're just going to remove the navigation icon. If I'm correct, it will stop taking up that space, and I'll answer your question in a second here, Mustafa. Why is it still taking up that space? Weird. Oh, it's not. Okay, now I'm confused. Okay, if it's I get it. Duh. Not equal null. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Are you sure that would work, Hardik? I'll try it. I already have the null check there, but we can give that a quick try. I feel like that's going to do the same thing here. What am I doing here? Invoke the function inside null is what I'm saying. Apparently it's been a while since I've used let, because I thought let did the null check. Really? Oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay, that makes more sense. Oh, it has to be in a lambda though. So I can't do that. It's got to be surrounded with a lambda. Oh, you had a lambda inside. I wonder if that works. Okay. I don't understand. I guess it's been a while since I've used let, but I thought you didn't have to do the null check. That I must be confused about what let does then. Okay, let's try that. It looks like it's the same thing, unfortunately. Oops. Yeah, it's the same thing. It was worth a try, but it looks like it's just effectively the no null check on icon back. No null check on. I'm not really following what you're saying. No null check on icon back. Let. I don't know what you're saying. Use a null check on line 34. If icon back not equal null, then I wouldn't need the let though. Within the let? Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I thought we just did that. I don't know, man. I'm trying here. And then a null check somewhere? That seems ridiculous. I'm really confused about what let does now. I thought the whole purpose of let was, not the whole purpose, but the block only executes if it's not null. Maybe I just saw someone using it wrong. Yeah, I think I just saw someone using it. Oh, I see. No, it doesn't actually check. It doesn't actually check nullability. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. I tried. Let's just go back to the old. Oh no, I lost the. I'll have to retype it. That's okay. All right. So if icon back does not equal null, then navigation icon back dot invoke, else. Well, it's worth a try. always worth a try. And then if it is null, we just get rid of it. And hopefully that will... Why is it complaining? Go back, dot invoke. It is complaining. Okay, where is the error, Android Studio? Oh, I think that needs to be a lambda. I think that's what it is. Okay, that seems to be working. Okay. Cool, cool. I think that's fine. I might want a little bit of padding. I think what we'll do is we'll just add some... Oh, unfortunately I send the modifier in, so I'm going to have to actually change the modifier in all of the composables, which is kind of lame, but oh well. Do I ever... I might not need to pass in the modifier, though, if I never use it. Let me just check on that. Do I ever... use anything but just modifier there? Task screen. Task list screen. Where is my toolbar? Modifier. Okay, oh, there we go. Okay, so I never actually needed to pass in the modifier from what I can tell. So we thankfully will be removing some code that's useless. And then I can, in here, say val modifier equals modifier dot, I think I chose the wrong modifier. Modifier dot padding start equals, I don't think we need a lot, 8 dip, end equals 8 dip, and it's complaining, and then modifier. Okay, let's try that. Whoa. Okay, that's not really what I had in mind. I didn't know that the padding also removes the background color. So I guess that seems kind of silly to have to set the background twice, but let's try that. Sure, I can, just give me 1 sec here. I did push them somewhat recently. I think I pushed a couple days ago, but I can do that. 1 sec. No, that doesn't fix it. Well, that's just annoying. I guess I have to add in a friggin' spacer or something. Oops. Okay. Why does it do that? That seems like very odd behavior. Like, I know padding and margin have become effectively the same thing. Oh, content padding. Okay, I see where it is. Content padding. Now, what's going on here? Why is it not liking that? Can't find a parameter. So there's something in here which is making it so that it doesn't want to apply the content padding. You know what? I think what I'll do is just add the padding to the text. And the that's probably fine. Now it looks terrible with when it has the oh, that's frustrating. Okay, I think I know what I can do. I think we can actually just do that for the one that doesn't have the icon. Let's try that. Okay, good. All right, that works. And I'm not even going to bother setting the padding for this icon here because I am running out of patience with that. But okay, that looks slightly better than before. So we're going to call that mission accomplished. Let me just make sure everything's building properly. One sec. And then I can push. Just building Gradle. Okay. Build was successful. Looks like there's no errors. All right, so I will push it. Okay. Well, I hear sirens. Sounds like my ride is here. It says it does contain one error, but the error it's talking about is not actually an error. Okay, Hardik. It is pushed. All right, so that was fixing titles. So let's call that done. Okay, now I want to mess around with the hour feature. So we'll do that next. So what do I want to change? Let's have a look. So again, let's just start by adding a bit of padding. Quarter hour block. Oh, I already had padding. Let's try 32. All right, that's fine. Now, originally we had the hour drop down stacked on top of the time display. I'm going to get rid of that by just removing this column so that everything is in a row. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to pull the text out into the row, and then space between, and then I think we're going to do an icon on top of the hour drop down. Let me zoom in. Vector image, why is it complaining? What, you don't want to, okay, image vector equals selected task is what? Is it a task object? It's an int. So we say icons dot. Can I do that? I think you can do that. And then what does it need? Modifier? What do you want? Content description, as always. Okay, let's do that. Okay. And I want this thing to be, I don't know, how tall is this view? I think I want it to be 36 dip. Let's just see, okay, it's still complaining about something. What do you mean it doesn't have a companion object? I don't understand. Is that actually an error? Maybe you can't, can you do that? I thought you could do that. Well, I don't know if this is a real error or it's just Android Studio being stupid, so let's try and run it. No, it's a real error. Okay. So selected task is an integer, and what I want to do is I want to oh, hold on a minute. I don't think that would actually work. Yeah, I don't think that would actually work. So what I would have to do is for selected task, I would have to pass down the task object itself. So I have to think if that's something I really care to do. I guess. It'll be really annoying though. I don't think I do want to do that. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to get rid of this for now. I do still want this thing kind of in the center, the hour drop down. Let's just see how that looks. Terrible. Okay. So we definitely need to set like a minimum height on... Why is that a column? Oh, because of the spacer. Okay, well, what we can do, this should be a pretty straightforward fix. So let's say, let's start with 32 dip for the spacer. Try that. No, it still needs a lot more. That looks fine. I mean, it looks terrible, but that looks fine. I want the, hey, what's up, Cybershark? Definitely want to fix the font for the text here. Now, before I mess around with that too much, I want to see where we actually use this H4. I am doing well, Cybershark. Yeah, just doing well. So next week, or this week actually, I will be presenting to a company to possibly build a multi-platform mobile application for them under contract. So we will see how that goes. That would be nice if I actually get that contract. So yeah, things are good. All right. I think I only use H4 for this typography thing, I guess. Hey, what's up, LV? Quarter hour block. Task picker button. Task picker button. What the hell is the task picker button? And task list item. Yeah, I'll be pushing to use KMM with it. It'll just be iOS and Android. I won't have to worry about the web stuff, and I'm already light years ahead of a lot of people in terms of sharing code between on a Kotlin multi-platform project. So I think it'll actually be pretty sweet. And to be honest, like I've written a little bit of Swift, and I'm actually pretty excited to play around with Swift UI. The challenge, though, will be, can I still reuse the presentation logic and stuff like that for the iOS version? And also, does it even make sense to? And how to actually go about. I've never done any significant iOS development, so it'll be interesting. Yep, I'll have to get a MacBook, unfortunately. Honestly, I'll probably just buy one secondhand because the thought of supporting Apple as a company turns my stomach. So I'll definitely buy something like secondhand or just not from Apple. Okay. Um, Let me just rerun that thing. So the what I'm doing here is I don't want to yeah, what is it, like $5,000 or something ridiculous? Okay. I think what's going on, so no, that doesn't look like the same thing. Okay, sorry. Let me just rerun this find usages one more time here. Okay, so value red. Whoa, what the hell was that? So we use it in I I love though that the European Union is, if I'm correct, they're going to force them to include a USB-C port. I love that. That just, I mean, on a certain level, I'm not a big fan of like governments messing around with the private sector too much, but that is a perfect example of the government basically taking a company doing just a completely stupid thing just to sell people their crappy dongles and whatever. And I just love that. So I hope that actually they follow through on that. That would make me so happy. Okay, let's find this task picker thing because I don't think I actually used task picker. Yeah, I think this was something that I was going to use when I couldn't figure out how to create a drop-down menu that worked for both Compose desktop and Android, but I did eventually figure out how to do that. Okay, no usages, so where is task picker? Common UI components. Yeah, let's just delete that. So I think I am actually safe to use this thing. Yeah. Oh, that's why they said they did that, having less waste. Okay, I briefly forgot where I was and what I was doing. Okay. So I'm just trying to make sure this H4 thing isn't I can change it without issues. Okay, so it's task list item in task list screen. Task list item. So okay. Apparently, so I use H4 here as well. Typography dot. Oh, okay. I see what I do. Um, hmm. Let me just look at this. So I use it here as well. Oh no, that's okay. It's a fun tangent. Yeah. You know what we're gonna do? I'm just gonna override a different thing here. Let's do H5, and we're gonna use H5 instead. Okay. Now what do I want this thing to look like? I think I want it to be thin. That does not look right. Let's try that. A while back I was on this, wow, that changed so many different things at once. Okay. Or did that, I feel like that changed the time display, but maybe I'm just imagining that. But I feel like it changed that font. Maybe it didn't. How could it have changed that? I don't know. Okay, fine. That's a start. Now it needs to be way, 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 way bigger. And I think we'll do monospace. Weird. Why did that just change? Before it said 000, now it's saying 12 a.m. Very weird. Why would it change? Interesting. Okay, I just noticed this. The AM PM mode changes. So it starts out 12 a.m. and then when I go here, it switches to military. So that's interesting. I better include that somewhere. Bug. Switching from AM PM to military after. Does it happen if I just go? No, I can't just go back, so that's not going to work. I could just go back on the Android version. After save, after on done, click in our view. Okay. Interesting. Anyways, so that's looking kind of better. I think thin is the thinnest. Monospace. Something seems weird. Something's weird. Why? Oh, never mind. That's actually intended behavior. It's supposed to be like that. Never mind. Honestly, this isn't really working a whole lot. It's not. It's looking better than before, but only by way of the fact that it looked like garbage earlier. here's what I think we're going to do. We've got this divider, spacer rather. We're going to do 2 spacers, one on top. Okay, that... What? Oh, it's because it's in the row. Wow. For a minute I was very confused. Okay, it's because I put it in the row layout. That makes more sense. Cybershark, you mentioned maybe it's because it's using SP. What was that in regard to? The fact that this really doesn't look like thin font? Yeah, desktop layout doesn't have constraint layout, which is it's frustrating. They are eventually going to add it, as my Arab friends would say, inshallah. I know there's a ticket for it. This really doesn't look like the right font family that I'm using. That really doesn't look like light text. So I'm wondering why that's the case. Do I set the font family here? No. Typography. I don't get that. I don't know. It might just be that monospace doesn't have different font weights, which would suck. That would be really annoying. I would actually, to me, that's the only logical conclusion right now. And that kind of makes sense because it's monospace. Although I feel like they could just restrict the size. Yeah, that must be the issue. Well, that looks all right. I think I still want it larger though. Okay. And then I gotta figure out what the heck I'm gonna do with this drop down list to make it look less ridiculous. And why is there white splotches? That's something I want to fix right away. I think I'm gonna try and fix that now. Oops, wrong spot there. Okay, let's work on that. The one good thing, Cybershark, is that at least it does have it has box with constraints as far as I'm aware, so that's kind of useful. Hakeem says, hey, thanks. Hey, Ryan, thanks for the great work. You're very welcome, Hakeem. Thank you for saying thank you. I'm Canadian, so that's actually how we respond to thank yous. We actually just respond with thank you. And then I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Herpty-derp. Come on, brain, you can do this. What was I just about to do? Right, fix the drop-down menu. This was an annoying one for my friends interested in Compose for a multi-platform. Drop-down menus have this annoying thing you have to do. So this was the plain drop-down menu. So for the plain drop-down menu that I'm sure anyone who's worked with Compose and Android is used to using, you have to make an expect actual version. So you make the expect composable, and then you make an actual for Android and desktop. And even though the code for both desktop and Android is completely identical, under the hood it uses different Maven artifacts, different implementations. So I almost wasn't able to use drop-down menus, and that really pissed me off because I was thinking, like, come on, guys, like, if we can't use drop-down menus, what are we doing here? But thankfully, I was able to find this workaround. Okay, so there's some kind of padding going on. I wonder if this... No, it wouldn't be that. That's just padding for the start. Does this thing... Can this thing have a modifier? Maybe if I set the modifier of the drop-down menu, that'll work. Okay. What are we missing? Comma? Okay, and then I'll need to make that change for the desktop version as well for the reason I just mentioned. Let's try that. I agree, spinners in Android. Like, one of the main things is, like, why is it called a spinner? What a counterintuitive name. Okay, so that pretty much fixed that. There's still, if you... I'm not sure if you can see it, but I do actually still see these tiny little corners here, which are... looks like about 3 pixels of white space, but I don't really care. It looks kind of fine, so... one of the things I can do is I can just make this thing larger. I can increase the font size. That's one thing I can do. Okay, so this is for the drop-down menu item. So I don't actually change it here. I change it in our view, or no, our screen. Oh, so they just ripped it off from iOS? That's pretty hilarious. Okay, so style comes from here. What? Why the heck would I be using that? That doesn't make any sense. I gotta let everyone in on who's listening on just a story from my past while I fix this. So yeah, we're gonna do drop down text. So I spent pretty much a decade, no, yeah, almost a decade working in kitchens before I was able to do this full time. And I had this one sous chef who we called Amos, A-M-O-S. And just to tease him, sometimes we'd yell across the kitchen like anus, like A-N-U-S, really quickly so he couldn't tell that we were calling him anus. Anyways, Amos, he wasn't a very likable fellow, and he was my sous chef. So in kitchen hierarchy, there's the head chef, sous chef, chef de partie, generally speaking, first cook, second cook, prep cook kind of thing. So this chef, sous chef Amos, he was really just a very unlikable character. And this one time he chewed out a friend of mine because my friend was preparing this big a la carte off the menu dinner for several people. And the dinner was about to pop off. And my friend was just finishing the garnish for this stuff, and yeah, he was a little bit late, but it was the kind of thing where he could kind of finish the garnish while he was plating type thing. And this, so it's like a minor mistake. And so Chef Amos comes up to him and says, like, do you even want to work here? And this was not like a super fancy restaurant. So anyways, whenever I make like this tiny little mistake in my code, in my head, I just think like, Ryan, do you even want to work here? Do you even want to work at McDonald's? So anyways, that's what it's, that's the PTSD I have from working in kitchens. Oh yeah, I used to live that, like Gordon Ramsay stuff. Like I had this one chef de partie. He's a friend of mine actually, but his name's Jeremy, and Jeremy once threatened to kick my ass because I dropped too many fries in a deep fryer. Like, he's literally like, if you ever do that again, I'm gonna kick your ass. Like, I'm used to having giant men screaming at me, and I'm not a small guy. I'm 6 feet tall, and for some reason, all the kitchens I worked in, most of the guys there were just huge. Anyways, that's saludos desde México. Hola, Ángela, ¿cómo estás? Mi novia es mexicana. Anyways, just speaking a little Spanish there. No, I literally dropped a few too many fries in the deep fryer for an order because I did make a little mistake. Anyways, okay, I should get back to coding because I'm rambling here. But let's get started here. So I want to make this font bigger. I think I just did that. Did I? No. Mi español es muy malo, pero ahí voy. Muy malo. Okay. Drop down text. So I think I made the change. Let's just rerun this. All right, that looks slightly better. That looks like 2% nicer. Sorry, I'm just gonna get more comfortable here. I need to just like completely redesign this thing, and I probably do want to add like the task icon somewhere. I think that might look a little bit nicer, but I don't think I'm going to do any more work in this feature. I've pretty much done what I wanted to do. Fix the time display font. We'll call that done. Move that to center, and we fix the switch margin. So we're going to call our feature done. And obviously it doesn't look great. There's still lots of room for improvement, but it looked buggy and terrible before, and now it just looks plain and boring. So that is sufficient. Das ist gut genau für heute. All right, so let's just get rid of that. Day feature, done. Task list feature, done. Task feature is not done. So this is the more important thing that I wanted to take care of today. So we're going to open up the task screen. And so what's going on here, as I showed earlier, is this thing here. So obviously these are all supposed to be circles. And so what I did is I found out that constraint layout isn't usable in the Compose version of, the desktop version of Compose, but I sort of hastily removed, oh no, I didn't remove box with constraints. So now I have no excuse for why those things are sized so terribly. All right. As the Brits would say, hang on a minute. Cybershark mentions, did you remove YouTube members? I did remove the YouTube members. The thing about it is that I just, I had like a small number of members and I really appreciated it. But I had these courses which I put like 200 hours into, and they had like 20 views because I only had like, I don't know, 12 or so members. And I thought to myself, you know what? I don't have enough of a following to actually make a serviceable amount of money from my members. And I do actually want people to watch my courses, even if they're not paying me money. So I decided to just release all of my courses for free. The other thing about it is I just don't have the structure in my life where I could do like regular hangouts with members and stuff like that. So I might eventually bring back YouTube memberships, but I will not be doing that anytime soon, really. Okay, so I think part of the problem here is this padding. So what we do is we make the buttons... Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. That might actually fix it. Let's just get rid of that padding. Corazón espinado. Well, that didn't fix the squashing problem. That made it look terrible, though. Let's... max width divided by 3 isn't working. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to make the size of this thing equal to just the max width. We're going to just change this, and I'm going to size these things by weight instead of setting like a specific size. So what we're going to do here is we'll say modifier dot size equals size. And then modifier height. How do you do weight again? There we go. How do you do like the... I guess we... It's been a while since I used weight. I think I can just do that? Let's try that. Fill max width makes sense. I don't know if this will work, but let's just try it. I haven't actually used weight in a long time. Now, I'm still giving it size, which I don't think I want to do. Oh, thank you, Cybershark. I appreciate that. Much appreciated. You know, random aside, I should learn some Hindi. I know a little bit of... Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Hablo un poco español. Je parle un petit français. I should learn some Hindi. Okay. Sorry, my brain is freezing here. The problem is I only speak one language fluently, and then I just know bits and pieces of like 10 languages. Like I can swear up a storm in Korean, but I won't do that because it might offend someone. Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to decide. I think I do. Let's say val color val circle size equals 1/3. So constraints.max width divided by 3. We'll do that. I have this funny feeling it's still not gonna work though, but let's just try. By the way, there was some reason why I did this ugly hard-coded boilerplate approach to that. I probably could figure out a way to use a loop of some kind. I forget the exact reason. 안녕하세요. 저는 한국인입니다. 감사합니다. By the way, Cybershark, have you watched Squid Game? Okay, well, hey, we've made some progress, folks. They now look equally terrible. Let's do, instead of doing divided by 3, why don't we suck less at math and try times. Why doesn't it want to do that? Oh, okay. Let's try sucking less at math. Has anyone watched Squid Game, by the way? Oh, yeah. I was really skeptical. My girlfriend wanted to watch it, and I was really skeptical because I was expecting pretty much just like a Korean drama. And don't get me wrong, I've watched some K-dramas in my time, like Shitty Hunter. And for the YouTube algorithm listening, I wasn't actually swearing there. That's just the name of the show. It's okay. They'll take my money away anyways. But yeah, I was pretty blown away. It was really good. Okay, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here, and it's my own fault. It's not anyone else's fault. Okay. Well, that's looking better. Maybe if I add the padding back in, that'll fix it. That seems weird, though. Color picker button. Let's try that. Yep. Okay, hey, this is starting to look proper. Now, the only thing that's confusing me is, oh, I know what's going on. I'm not setting it to the, in the mobile app, it was, okay, I think what I'm going to do is instead of setting it to the width, I think I'm actually going to make it set to the max height divided by 2. I think I'm going to do that. I don't actually want it to be like that large. Are you kidding me? Okay, let's think about this. Max height divided by 2 dip is the size of this thing. And then let's try size okay, size divided by, no, just size times 0.3 f. Dot 2 dip. Oh, you're right, Cybershark. Oh, that's why I did it by the width. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay. That makes sense. So, well, I guess that's fine. Let's just make sure it's working again. Okay. That's fine for now. I think I would like them to have more margin, but or more padding rather. Let's see if that helps. Ah, I accidentally hit the X button. Okay. All right. I'm happy. Je suis contente. So we'll call that one done. I will run it on the Android version just to see how terrible it looks. Fixed color display view names. So, right. So what I do for the color display text is just color.name. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to color and we're going to make an extension function. Let's make it an extension property. So we'll say color dot let's call it pretty name. It's going to be a string. Get when equals when this, no, add remaining branches. So just brainstorming here, but I think one way to handle localized resources in a fairly quick way would be to create different source sets for different languages, and then you could basically create just a Kotlin object localized to each individual source set. Now, obviously, if you were trying to do localization for like every country, that would probably be not very feasible. But if you just wanted to quickly cover a couple main languages like, I don't know, English, Chinese, Russian, Hindi, etc., then that might actually be a fairly serviceable way to do that. The thing is that since this code is shared across desktop and mobile front ends, I can't use Android's resources and having different sort of localized resources. So that's why I'm doing it, why I'm just hard coding things. It's not that I would normally do that. Can make it as... Oh, that's true. That's a good idea. Let's try that. Color.name .replace. I actually want it to be uppercase because... Actually, no, I don't think I do want it to be. Maybe I don't want it to be uppercase. Oh, I want the first and last. Let's just leave it, we're going to leave it uppercase. I would want the first and last. Maybe we can do this. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. You know, we're gonna leave it uppercase. I kind of want it uppercase. All right, cool. I should see how to get it to pop up centered in the screen. That's another thing I could work on here. How do I do that? Window position. Platform default. How do I do this? X equals 0. No, I don't care about the X. Y equals 0. Why doesn't it like that? Dot dip. What is problem? Oh, it also needs the X equals 0 dot dip. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to pop up in like the top corner of the screen. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we're just about done. I just want to look at these. I fixed that bug or whatever. Not really a bug technically. The only thing left is I want to figure out why it's switching from AM clock to PM clock. My guess, so let's think about the defaults. Preload data. So in the preload data, it looks like we do the 12-hour, and then in what did I call that thing? Storage service? Okay. I figured this was the issue. So why do I just pass this here? Okay, I think the reason why I did that was laziness. And also, apart from laziness, hold on one sec. There might be a way to do this. Oh, I might have screwed up here. Oh, okay. I think I know what's going on here. So what this is that, so this is an SQL Delight database. And I remember kind of rushing through implementing it because it was taking a long time because I'm not great with SQL. And I think why it just defaults to that is I hadn't actually figured out how to store the hour mode at the time. So let me briefly think if I want to mess around with this and see if I can do that. Or if I shouldn't bother and I should just default to the problem is I like the look of the AM PM clock more, and that's what we use in North America and parts of Europe, but then a lot of the rest of the world uses the 24-hour clock, and I'll admit the 24-hour clock is kind of makes more sense. Any lightweight browser suggestions? Chrome and Android Studio are killing my RAM. Oh, you know what I could do? No, I can't do that. Never mind. For a second, I'm like, I can just use Proto Data Store. And then I'm like, all right, this is a multi-platform project. That wouldn't work. Because that's what I originally did in the Android version. I just used Data Store, but I can't use that. I could even just add another friggin' table. That seems like kind of overkill, but I could just add another table. Yeah, you're probably well. That is actually how I do it, Cybershark. The hour is just an integer from 0 to 23, so I do store it in 24-hour format. I guess. So the reason why I had it defaulted is because I don't actually have a way for the user to change the format. I think what I'm going to do just for today is I'm going to leave this default to 24-hour. I'm going to fix the preload data because that's why it appears to be changing. And this is going to be 24-hour. Let me just make sure that isn't sitting around anywhere else. Okay. I'm happy with that. Cybershark mentions there are many preferences libraries for multi-platform Windows users registries. Good to know. I'm trying to stick with things that are sort of made for easy multi-platform use, but even with SQLite, you still have to use the expect actual modifiers. Hardik mentions, what about storing a Unix timestamp? Is that a good idea? I haven't really messed around with the Unix timestamp, so if that makes sense, I could do that. I think probably what I'll do is I will just create another table with one field with integer mode, and what it'll be is so the hour mode is actually just an enum, so I could store either a 0 or a 1 in there, and if it's a 0 it's 12 hour, if it's a 1 it's 24 hour. But before I even bother doing that, the application doesn't have settings, so yeah. I could add settings into the hour view feature, though. That might actually be a nice thing to do. Okay, so folks, the last thing we're gonna do is this whole time I've been debugging using the desktop version of the application, and we are going to now run the Android version if it will run. I haven't actually deployed it in a while, and I've made a lot of changes, so it may or may not work. But let me fire up my Pixel 3a. I gotta say, I'm happy with how long the screen has lasted, because I drop my phone so much. But the screen finally has like a single crack in it. Now it's not like a spiderweb pattern, it's just like a single kind of seam through part of it. But I think my Pixel 3a will be needing to be replaced pretty soon. Yep. As is the tradition, Grail chugging along. Ha! I've been very happy with my Pixel. I haven't seen what the reviews are like for the latest one, but I'd probably get a Pixel again. Oh yeah, Gradle is taking its sweet time. Oh, someone's phoning me. I don't know who that is. We get a lot of spam calls here in Canada. Multi-platform settings. Thanks for that, Cybershark. Okay, this so the first screen. Let me go to full cam show mode, if you know what I mean. So this is what the Android version looks like, and it's actually quite nice. At least the first thing. I'm really happy with that. This even looks nicer. Not great, but nicer on the Android version, so I'm pretty happy to see that. So this looks better. I think one thing I might be able to do on the desktop version is just increase the size of the text and the icons. This overall looks better, except I almost feel like the color buttons are too small. Let me try and hit one. Yeah. But yeah, not bad. Obviously it's still beta quality, but that's actually looking all right. Okay, everybody. So I'm just I'll push these final changes here. And if anyone has any final... Oh, somebody recognized the Hotline Miami soundtrack. Yeah, that is exactly what it is. Good ear, Mr. Just Evil. So yeah, I'm just going to commit and push this change. If anyone has any final comments or questions, now would be the time to ask. Updated UI and some bug fixes. Okay, cool. All right. Ow, I just hit my knee. Oh, wow. Muchas gracias, Jose. I appreciate that. Hardik says, will you accept PRs on this project? Yeah, I think that's fine. I can be a bit of a... the only thing is... yeah, well, if you have any PRs, I'll certainly address them in the comments. And thank you, everybody, for watching and contributing and so forth. This has been Ryan. You have been you. And I'll probably be doing more of this tomorrow. So, yeah. Wish me luck with that contract thing. I had to make up a Google Slides presentation with pricing regarding various cloud services like AWS and Firebase and stuff like that. So, yeah, it'll be interesting, but hey, we'll see. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.